Is Zaya reuniting? Is Hunter okay with Yael's change? Will Miles' father help him pay for college? It's the penultimate episode of Degrassi Next Class Season 4. Hello, I'm Carrie and welcome to Degrassi Corner, and in this video, we're talking about episode 409, Obsessed. After an unintentional cuddle session, Zig finds himself back in his feelings for Maya. Then, out of the blue, she asks him to prom. However, Esme's still in the picture, and she's upset when she finds out, and Zig talks her down a little bit by saying his feelings for her haven't completely gone away, even though that's not really true. Zaya's ready to hit up prom, but then prom is on hold for a while because of a bomb threat. And during that period, Esme continually sends Zig sexy pictures until the point where he just blocks her phone number. As for prom, it's eventually back on, but while Zig and Maya are dancing, Esme arrives and makes a huge scene. She grabs a knife and threatens to kill herself if Zig doesn't talk to her, so he agrees to. Then they head to a wooded area and Esme tries to get back together with Zig, but he rejects her advances and she hits him out of anger, and while she's doing that, he ends up falling backwards down a steep slope. Zaya's indeed pretty cute in this episode because there's that slow burn of these characters falling back into their feelings for one another, and the weird thing is I wasn't actually a Zaya shipper. And by the way, I only have two shipping gears. I either ship a couple pretty hard or I'm indifferent toward their existence. So it's kind of weird that now I'm suddenly feeling these things for them. But the bigger issue here is, of course, Esme. And this is a friendly reminder that she's mentally ill and she has severe abandonment issues. And we're seeing a pattern of behavior where when she emotionally latches onto someone and they no longer want to be a part of her life, Esme is consumed with anxiety and acts out in extreme fashion. In season 1 of Next Class, she tried to convince Miles that she attempted suicide just to get him to come back to her. And here we see in Obsessed that she threatened to kill herself in the middle of prom to force Zig's hand. And with Zig getting hurt because of her behavior, it's going to be interesting to see what is next for Esme in the final episode. Now, on to the next plot in this episode. Hunter feels isolated from his friends because he's still the only person up in arms over Yael changing their identity. VJ reminds Hunter that Yael is indeed the same person on the inside as before, so Hunter has a little change of heart and he shows up at prom to volunteer with the gang as sort of a way to make amends. Their service is on hold as prom receives a bomb threat, and during the wait, Yael tells police that they might have some information for them in regards to who might have called in the bomb threat. Then we see the police take Saad in for questioning. But after prom resumes, Yael and Hunter line up for a picture, and when the photographer mistakes Yael for a boy, then a girl, Hunter ends up correcting him. But Yael saying the photographer's mistakes are no big deal, that sort of sets Hunter off, and he still doesn't understand why Yael changed to begin with. Hunter tells Yael that their change is not normal, and Yael tells Hunter that he's the one with the problem, not them. So he tried, but Hunter, he's just a jerk, and Yael can do better than his nonsense, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see how this friend group works, or if Hunter will even be a part of it in future seasons. And it's funny that Yael was the one in season 3 who wished that the friend group would go back to the way it was before Yael and Hunter started dating. And now Hunter, here in season 4, is the one who feels that way. An absolutely amazing touch in this episode is the writers having everyone mess up Yael's pronouns. Now, the people messing up isn't happening out of disrespect. It's just such an accurate portrayal of the difficulty of having to relearn this whole new thing when you've always been used to something else. Even me talking about Yael in these videos, I've had to consciously stop and remind myself to refer to Yael as they or them. And I can't wait until the day when I'll be able to say Yael, they, them, without even thinking about it. And finally, Miles got into that creative writing program in London, but now he's worried that his dad won't support his decision. Miles approaches his dad with a plan to pay for schooling. He's going to plan to sell his summer trip tickets. He'll get a job, and he asks his dad to loan the rest of the money, and he even has a repayment schedule mapped out. But Miles' dad decides, after seeing how Miles has handled everything in life thrown at him recently, from the play to Tristan's recovery, he's going to give Miles access to his trust fund early so Miles can pay his own way through school. Miles' plot ends with him hosting a makeshift prom in Tristan's room since Tristan couldn't make it to the real prom. The two share a dance, this being one of the last moments that they'll have together before Miles leaves for Europe. In my review of episode 403, I talked about how wonderful it was to see the growth of two Hollingsworth men, and that continues here in this episode. It's an amazing feeling to see who Miles has become as a young man, and how his relationship with his dad has become something that lifts him up instead of tearing him down. And the trial stuff was good. Even though they've broken up, there's still that bond between them. And I think I'm a sucker for people who still have the ability to have a strong relationship with someone even after a breakup, because it gives you a sense of how much Tristan and Miles value each other and that they understand how much they've shaped each other as young men. And that's going to do it for this episode of Degrassi Corner. Leave your thoughts on this next to last episode of Degrassi Next Class Season 4, Obsessed, in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to Degrassi Corner for the latest Next Class news, reviews, and more.